Jeremy Nadler, in fact, who we tried to get an interview, but he's kind of left Egypt behind and has moved on. But he makes a really, really good point, and that is that if you look at Egyptology per se at the point in time when Napoleon was interested in it, Egyptology at that point accepted that there was a magic and a mysticism to Egypt, which is why Napoleon went in the first place. But since that period up until very, very recently, the academy per se has kind of tried to rip all of that magic and all of that mysticism and tried to measure everything with rulers and make sense of it that way. And as a result, Egyptology and the academy has become very, very restricted in what they're willing to look at. And so that's why, as Chance calls them, the counterculture of John and Graham and Led and Robert and all of these people have kind of had to go outside of the academy and look at things from a different perspective. And that's why we're able to start introducing a little bit of the magic and mysticism back into the story.
Well, and the magic and mysticism is one of the most important parts of the story because you can't, even though you and I have talked at length at the world not necessarily being dualism, but also a trinity, but still there is always going to be a flip side of the coin. You do have that second half, and even though everything is grounded within the physical world, in terms of like the language, in terms of the history, in terms of the architecture, the mysticism side of it, whether it's, people want to look at it from a metaphorical standpoint to be able to explain something, or from a pure and simple metaphysical standpoint to explain what can potentially be explained by science in who knows how many years once it catches up.
Yes, exactly.
Like that's what I found that the difference between Magical Egypt 1 to the Magical Egypt 2 which was here Magical Egypt 1 was the explaining of the basis of the story in terms of saying, okay, this is what you know, forget everything. To a certain extent, here's what's really going on. And the Magical Egypt 2 expanded on it to be able to bring that second half, that mirror image to it, which completes the entire story.